The media is today talking about a new India being aspiration oriented or growth oriented. Why has this happened? What could be the probable reasons why corporations, executives, students, and the common man want to be more aspiration oriented? Corporates want to be world leaders or global leaders in the services that they provide or products that they manufacture. Students and executives want to excel. The common man wants to be more happy, both quantitatively and qualitatively. This being the case, what is the difference between an ambition-oriented person and an aspiration-oriented individual or team? Ambition and aspiration need endurance, resilience, and consistency of purpose for its fulfillment. Both of them do not fall under a category where you can achieve something within a short span of time. Both need long-term goals, something which all of us have to strive for. But the essential difference is that when a person is ambition-oriented, it takes care of his own needs and wants and maybe his family's. That being the case, in aspiration orientation, the focus is not oneself but the team, organization or community, which essentially boils down to him also benefiting. The focus and ambition is myself first. The focus and aspiration is the team, community or organization first. This is the essential difference between ambition-oriented society and an aspiration-oriented society. Medha is introducing a program called Brain Reengineering that is to help people using a quantitative methodology to reach one's aspirations. A qualitative methodology is fine when we want it to be ambition-oriented. We had to get different brain areas to be working together, but with respect to aspiration orientation, the attention to detail that is necessary becomes multifold. We have to measure the brain, we have to compare it with normal individuals who have reached their aspirations, and finally, if not at the end, make sure that what is known as the default mode network, which we will speak about, becomes predominant in the individual when he is processing information and acting on it. Is that a new management idea? Not necessarily. Peter Senge, the legend from MIT Sloan Management, talks about two paradigms that have, one the past, another the present, which all individuals, societies and organizations have to follow in order to grow, in order to be aspiration oriented. The first paradigm talked about observation, reflection, planning, and then action. The new paradigm talks about seeing, sensing, pre-sensing, and enablement or enactment. Now the question is, these two paradigms are fundamentally different. We will talk more about this in the part 1 of the program titled Brain Reengineering and the Emotional Brain. With respect to asking the question, have people not achieved aspirations? That's not true. People have achieved aspirations. Take it, for example, we can take Narayana Murthy, we could take Azim Premji, we could take Dhirubhai Ambani, we could take Narendra Modi, we could take MS Dhoni, we could take Sachin Tendulkar, and many others achieved this because of their own effort, passion and inspiration which they gained from their goals. Now the question is, if India or the new India wants to move towards aspiration, the whole process of getting oriented towards one's aspiration cannot be dependent on passion, because you are also going to have normal people who are not necessarily having aspirations which can promote them overcome their ups and downs. All these people mentioned had ups and downs in their lives, but they overcame them because of the power of their goals, power of their aspirations, the energy they got from their aspirations. Whereas the common man does not fall into it. So how is he going to achieve his aspiration? That necessitates a complete overhaul or complete methodology that has to be described scientifically in order to understand what it means to be aspiration oriented and how is it that the person can achieve it. So if a generation of people are going to get to their aspirations, we have to now move away from a subjective way of looking at it or a behavioral way of looking at how to behave in order to achieve their goals or achieve their aspirations. So what is brain reengineering that is bringing this program? What is Medha as an organization bringing to you in this program titled Brain Reengineering? It is first trying to describe many of the subjective terms and terminologies in the terms of the brain. Next, it tries to tell you what it is that is stopping us from achieving our aspirations. What is it in our own brains that is being the biggest hindrance, the biggest enemy, and what has to be, how it has to be overcome. Last but not the least, how is it that we move from observation, reflection, planning, action to the new paradigm of seeing, sensing, pre-sensing, and enactment. As we already said, the greatest enemy which stops us from achieving our aspirations is our own emotional brain. From a very young age, even from 4 months, we start developing likes and dislikes. These become primary drivers for action. Likes and dislikes, when catered to indiscriminately, becomes whims and fancies. They are much more intense than likes and dislikes. From likes and dislikes, it becomes obsessions. Whims and fancies, when they become obsessions, it becomes a compulsion to do something. We become addicted to it. And when we are addicted to something, if we get what we want, we become so excited and want more. If we don't get what we want, we become disappointed and frustrated, leading to stress. 95% of our illnesses are because of stress, according to modern research. The issue is, if we handle our emotional brain, reduce it, we are going to reduce stress. And the energy that we are today wasting in ill health and disease now gets diverted towards health and fitness. This is the benefit of overcoming the emotional brain. Summarizing this introduction, we could say that if we can control and overcome our emotional brain, we become aspiration oriented, which in turn leads to inclusive growth rather than individual growth. It therefore leads to happiness, which is enhanced both quantitatively and qualitatively. Last but not the least, we are able to overcome and eventually annihilate stress, which is the cause for ill health. Technology can help. understanding and control are a must to overcome the emotional brain. This is just the introduction to the program Brain Reengineering. This will be on YouTube. Anybody can take a look at it. If you're convinced that you want to go through this program, you can get in touch with us and see how we can customize it for you. There is also 2 other parts that we are doing which can be paid for, and you can take a look before enrolling for the custom designed program to help you overcome your emotional brain. Thank you. See you soon.